to what Malika was talking about on those 3 steps of success. It is so important that you know those steps, and then when you sit down with a brand new person and you go through those steps, if they are not on board 100% and all in with wanting to do those things to get started, then they are not qualified to be a distributor with you. You need to be strong with that. You just need to suggest that they be a loyal customer for now. Because there is nothing more frustrating than getting somebody who's not really all in and not committed, and then you got to push them, pull them, drag them to do everything that it takes to be a successful distributor. I'm just telling you, save yourself a lot of heartache and frustration. Go through that like an interview process with that brand new prospective distributor. It's your business. Do you want a business that's flaky and full of a bunch of duds? Or do you want a business that's on fire with a bunch of studs? That's what you're looking for. I loved it back there when Latasha was introducing me to some of her girls. She had a gal that she said jumped up in the middle of a rap party and said, "I want to do this." That's who you're looking for. Okay? That's what you're looking for. When people have a spark in their eyes, I mean, they've got a fire in their belly, they're hungry for an opportunity, that's who you want to work with. Forget the ones that go, "I don't know, maybe I might do it if you put those customers under me." Don't do that. If you go to a party and your hostess is not showing you that she's alive and well, and she sees the potential and says, "Oh my gosh, I can do this. Can those be my customers?" Then yes. But don't sit there and go, "Are you sure you don't want to do this? Look, I've got 6 customers right here. I could put them under you." I don't know, maybe. Oh man, don't do that. I've done that. And then I'm sorry I did it. I don't do that anymore. Don't you do it. Okay, this thing is too good. It's too good. All you ever need is 5 good legs to get all the way to ambassador. And it doesn't even have to be the people you personally brought in. If you've got a spark in each leg and 5 legs, that's all you need to get to ambassador. So don't settle for the crumbs. This is something that I thought about. What if you got up tomorrow morning and in your driveway was a huge, huge pile of gravel, and you couldn't get around it? There was no way to get around that gravel. You can't get your car out of that gravel unless you go through the gravel and move it. So your first thought is, "I'm going to shovel that gravel out as quick as I can because I got to get to where I'm going," right? But what if I told you in that gravel were 5 beautiful shining diamonds? Are you going to shovel through them, or are you going to sift through them? Okay? So you're going to sift and look for the good stuff. Okay? Don't just throw people, that's right, more diamonds. Don't just throw people in there. Make sure it's a good one. I mean, I'm telling you guys, 7.5 years, I've signed up a lot of people, and there were a lot of people that had no business being a distributor. A lot of them I talked into it because I was so excited, and I just knew that they could do this. But they weren't giving me the indication that they thought they could do it. They didn't have any desire to do it. They got caught up in my excitement and said, "All right, let's do it." But then tomorrow, you ever wondered what happens when you get somebody that seems to be excited, and then Just a few days later, they won't return your call. They won't talk to you. Have you had those too? Yeah. There's people out there that are going to get caught up in the excitement, but before you walked into their life, they had no desire to do anything else. They weren't looking for a business opportunity. They weren't hungry for an opportunity at all. But they got caught up in the excitement, and then they realized reality hit in, and they go, oh, dang, I don't want to do that. You know, it was kind of fun on that Friday night or whatever, but dang, I got to work. I don't want to work. I mean, if you think you're going to make $10,000 a month, you're going to have to work.
Right.
But it's the funnest work you'll ever do. I promise you. So, I just had to add that. Be very, very selective. You decide what kind of business you want. 3 will make you millions. 3 good ones. So you don't need everybody to join your business. You're going to get lots of customers, and that's okay too, because those are volume builders. The more customers you have, the more volume you're going to generate, the more money you're going to make. So you're going to talk to people and wrap them. Because one of 3 things happens when you wrap somebody. They're either going to sign up and be a distributor with you, or they're going to be a customer, or they're going to do nothing. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad, is it?
That's right.
That old song by Meatloaf? You know, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Y'all just remember that when you're talking to people. So the more people you wrap, the more you're going to find distributors and customers. And a lot of times when people do nothing, it's because they're just either really broke and they have no way to do anything and they're embarrassed to tell you that, or they're skeptical still and they want to see how their results do, or they don't have a desire for any of it, and that's fine too. You're not going to get everybody. You just need a few. Please get that. If you haven't found your few yet or your 3, keep on. The chances of you not finding them, the chances of you finding them are so much greater than you not finding them. But if you give up now, you won't find them. You know how Mark Pentecost says that all the time, he says this all the time, that there's only a few chances in life that you get to step up to bat and swing for the fences in baseball. You do. There's only a few chances in life when you get to do that. Blair, my husband, said something that was just really, really good. He took it a little step further. And he said, you know, when you get up to bat in normal baseball, you got 3 chances. 3 strikes, you're out, right? You can't strike out in this. You're going to keep swinging and swinging and swinging and striking and striking and striking and striking. You can't strike out. You're the only one that can strike yourself out. If you quit, that's the only way. So you need to make a decision now. If you haven't already made it, you need to make a decision right now, today. I'm not quitting. I don't care what people tell me. I don't care how many no's I get. I don't care that everybody in my line of sponsorship has far outpassed me, and I'm still sitting here as a distributor, or I'm just still sitting here as executive, and everybody else is out there, they've gone diamond and double, and I don't care. You have to run your own race. And for whatever reason, God is making you to run your race because He has a plan and a purpose for what He's doing through you. Okay? You don't know that by you having to go through so many people telling you no, and it just seems like when you look to the left and you look to the right and you look at all these other people and you compare yourself to other people, that's when the devil can really get to you. You cannot compare yourself. You are uniquely made. God made you the way He made you for His plan and His purpose. And so He has something huge He wants to do through you. And because of that, He's going to teach you some things. How can you expect that you're going to have a multi-million-dollar business where there's thousands of people looking up to you and you haven't gone through some stuff? Right? Because how relatable would you be if everything just happened for you without any adversity, without anything stopping you, without anything holding you back, and people are telling you, I'm just really struggling. And you're going, oh, well, don't worry about it. It'll happen because it happened for me. And, No. People need to know that you know that what they're going through. Because when you can look them in the eye and say, I know exactly what you're feeling. I've been through that. I know how that feels. And I just promise you, God's not going to just give it to you. You're going to have to go through some stuff. You're going to have to earn it. He's molding you and shaping you, and He's created you for greatness. And if you'll just understand that and grow yourself, go through the, on our back office, we have Success on Demand. How many have not heard of Success on Demand? Okay, so everybody knows about Success on Demand. Are y'all watching it? Are you listening to it? You should be reading, listening to things that are building you. Because until you build you, the right people aren't going to come. You're going to get some people by default. Because of this product. Like I said, it puts you on a level playing field. This product will bring people to you. But the ones that are really going to be superstars are going to come to you when it's time. When you're ready to handle it. Okay? So, embrace the struggle. Don't wish you weren't going through struggles. Because it means that God is really going to do something with you. And the more struggles you have, the stronger that calling on your life is. Okay? Because there's people that are going to be impacted because you continued on. And if you quit, somebody that was supposed to be impacted by you will not. So you're not just giving up on yourself, you're giving up on people. Because whether you know this or not, this ain't just about you.
That's right.
And I'm getting way off track from what I was just doing. All right, well, there's just something in me bubbling up. It's just bubbling up. That's right, it's in me. It is. And I got goosebumps all over me. But there is, God has called you. This isn't about you. This is about the people that God has put in your life. And when you go through adversity, you got to remember that it isn't about me. It's about how many people can I help. And you get into the business in the beginning because you're excited about being able to change your life, being able to make enough money to pay the bills. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good reason to get in. It's for selfish reasons. And there's some times in your life when you have to be selfish. You have to focus on what it is that's going to help you and your family. But then at some point, everything, the whole dynamic is going to change. When you start to realize that because you talked to Sally, and now Sally has been able to pay off all her debt, she now is debt-free in her life. It's pretty humbling. Or I'm just going to come on out with it. Okay. So, when I was building this business, and before I got into this, my husband and I lost our youngest daughter in a car accident in 2002. And she was 21 years old, and it shook us to the core. Totally shook us. We thought, how could we live? You know, we didn't know that we would be able to continue to live the life that we've been living. And you know what? That's true. Everything changed about our life at that point. And when I got into this in 2005, it had been 3 years. And on her birthday is September the 2nd, I had gotten into this in June of 2005. And I took off. My business was thriving, it was growing. I had over 100 people in my organization. It was just rocking and rolling. And then on September, on her birthday, something just happened. And I went into a deep depression. And I did nothing with my It Works business for 6 months. Absolutely nothing. I got a check month after month after month. And my husband and I had done network marketing for 15 years before we had gotten into this, and we never made any money. And for the first time, we were making money with this. And I was so angry at myself that I couldn't get out of the bed. Because I don't know, it just hit me. You know, it was just, I don't know how to explain it. I was just depressed. And I was missing my daughter. And so I did nothing. And then in April of 06, this was from September to April of 06, I was laying in bed one morning. And I was trying to decide whether or not to get up. Most of the times I didn't get up. I just laid there. And Blair, bless his heart, he was just working and working and working. You know, he didn't have the luxury of being able to stay home and grieve like that. He had to go out and make the money. So I was just laying there, and I heard an audible voice. And it was so strange. I was awake. I heard the strangest thing ever. I heard an audible voice say, "Do the Southern Women's Show." I was like, what? I was sitting on the side of the bed, and I was like, Lord, was that you? You know, you think about this. If God's going to talk to you, don't you think he'd say something a little bit more profound? I was like, do the Southern Women's Show? In Nashville, down south, they have a circuit of women's show called the Southern Women's Show. And I would always save my money to go because it was just awesome. Everything that women love is at this show. And it was coming up in about 10 days. And so I'm sitting there kind of scratching my head, and I got a phone call from one of my distributors. And she goes, I was just sitting here thinking, what if we could get into that Southern Women's Show? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. So I told her, and she goes, well, I think we're supposed to do that show then. I said, okay. So I got on the phone and I called, and 15 minutes later I had spent $850, and I had no clue what we were going to do. Well, nobody had ever done a women's expo in our company up to that point. And I called Pam Souter and I said, I just spent $850 and I don't even know what to do. We're going to have a booth. And she said, well, maybe you could wrap people's chins. This is pioneer now, okay? You know, we didn't have a clue that we could wrap anybody's stomach at a booth. That just never even crossed our mind. And so we thought, okay, that'll be great. And we made up these little signs that we were going to have them with ribbon. We tied ribbon up around their head, and we had these little signs that said, don't laugh at me, I'm losing inches. And let them walk around the women's show with that on. And so that's what we were going to do. And while we were at that show, there was a gal that was in the booth across from us with her mother. And she saw the excitement happening in our booth. We had people lined up. Now at this point, people were like, we want to wrap our stomachs. And we went and got us some saran wrap, and we took people to the bathroom. And I mean, it was the craziest thing ever. I mean, we had people waiting, lined up, all the way down the aisle, waiting to get wrapped. It was pandemonium. And so on Saturday, that was Thursday, Friday, and then on Saturday, the people across from us in the booth, a mother and daughter, the mother came over and said, I want to wrap my chin. And so I wrapped her chin, and she lost an inch. So then the daughter came over, and the daughter said, well, she goes, I've been watching y'all. What I've got, nobody wants. And what you've got, everybody wants. I'm going to wrap my chin, and if it works for me, I'm getting in. I'm like, yeah, okay, great. She's the reason for me to do the Southern Women's Show. She was my spark. She was my catalyst that blew my business wide open. That's all you're looking for, is that spark. And it just took off. I mean, she had all these Southern Women's shows booked with her other product, and she changed it all to the wraps. And honey, I went on the road with her, and we did these shows, city after city after city. And everyone, I'd find a spark here, and I'd find a spark there. And it just started growing like crazy. So I wanted to tell you that because you're one person away from an explosion. One. That's all it takes, is one. Do you think you can hang in there a little bit until you find that one?
Yes, yes.
I'm telling you. It's so true. Everybody who is successful in It Works will tell you one person changed it all. One. So we're going along, and in January, Mark Pentecost called all the diamonds and above to come to Greensboro, North Carolina for a diamond meeting. There were 7 of us. Can you imagine? We were in a restaurant, in a table. There were 4 of us were double diamonds. So in April, I went diamond in June. I went double diamond in September in 06. So nobody had gone triple diamond yet in our company. So Mark called us all together, and he introduced that CAB bonus, the Customer Acquisition Bonus. Do you all know about that bonus? Mm-hmm. Yes. It is a huge bonus that you get when you become a diamond. You get paid $80 on every new person coming into your organization after you go diamond, from the people that you bring in after you go diamond, and build from those people forward. $80, as long as they turn on their auto ship and get their first 2 loyal customers. So if you personally sponsor that person, you get a $100 fast start and an $80 cab bonus. And then if Sally signs up somebody who does that, she gets the $100 fast start, you get the $80 cab bonus. So you make 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, unlimited levels after you go diamond. Diamond is a huge thing. It's 120 at double diamond, 135 at triple diamond, 145 at presidential, and 150 at ambassador. Man, it's awesome. So he introduced, Mark introduced that bonus. I was on fire. And then he also said, whoever goes triple diamond first is going to get an all-expense-paid vacation to their choice, Jamaica or Cancun. And I punched Blair and I said, that's my trip. And I came home and went to work. I was so on fire. I was so excited. I was going to do it. And then we got devastating news. My only sister, my baby sister, she's 8 years younger than me, 43 years old, had been diagnosed with lung cancer. And her prognosis was not good. It was, in fact, they didn't give her any hope at all. And it was just going to be a matter of months. And at that point, I was very, very torn. And I thought, how can I do this? I want to spend every moment I can with my sister. And she was a spunky thing. I mean, she was a spitball. She was so, I mean, she was, you just didn't mess with her. She was crazy. My little sister. And I went to her and I was talking to her. She saw my business was really growing and exploding. And I sat down with her and I said, her name was Kimberly. And I said, Kimberly, we've been given an opportunity and they put some new money in the plan and everything. And I was going to try to push for Triple Diamond, but I'm going to wait. And I want to spend time with you. And she was like, girlfriend, no! And I was like, what do you mean? And she knew she was dying. And she said, this isn't about you. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, and she said, this is not about you. She said, you got people counting on you. You got lives that are changing. You cannot sit here with me. You have to be out. You got to continue working in other people's lives. And you're going to be a Triple Diamond, and I'm going to cheer you on, and you just come see me when you can. And that was in the end of January of 2007. And so with her blessing and her permission and with my belief that, yeah, she was right, this wasn't about me. There were a lot of people that were hanging in the balance, just excited, wanting to build their business and ready to run. And I was going to run with them. And so the end of March, I became the company's first Triple Diamond. And the day after, she passed away. And it was already time for the Southern Women's Show again. A whole year had gone by. And I was at that Southern Women's Show. We buried her on Wednesday, and on Thursday, I was at the Southern Women's Show, working. And I know a lot of people would say, well, gosh, we would understand you staying home. But I kept hearing her saying, it's not about you. This isn't about you, you guys. I don't care what's going on in your life. You can take some time for whatever's going on, but don't take very much time. Get right back to where God has put you. Amen. Don't let something just keep you down. So I'm running again, going for presidential, going to be presidential by the end of September, actually by the end of October. And we had our very first conference was going to be in Tampa, Florida. And Blair and I were supposed to speak there. And I got the phone call, my father passed away. I was a daddy's girl. So he passes away, and I'm supposed to be in Tampa on Friday. This is Wednesday. And, you know, he was 83 years old, and he had been bedridden, and, you know, it was time for him to go. But it still hurts, you know? It still hurts when you lose your daddy or your mama, you know? And so my mom knew that it was really important for us to speak at this conference. And my dad, we live in Nashville, Tennessee, and my dad was from a little town in Missouri, in the boot heel of Missouri. It's about 5 hours away. And that's where his resting place is. And he died on Wednesday. We drove Thursday. The funeral home was able to get him there on Thursday, and we had a great size service. And we buried him, drove home that night, 5 hours back home, and we were on a plane the next morning for me to go to Tampa. Because it wasn't about me. Don't get that? Got it. So, you know, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen in your life that you don't expect. I was going ambassador. And I'm ready to put it all together. I mean, everything's in place to go ambassador. And I get a phone call and my nephew passes away. Just out of the blue, 33 years old, pneumonia. Died of pneumonia. That very same day, later in the afternoon, my uncle, my favorite uncle in the whole wide world, my dad's brother, youngest brother, died of a massive heart attack that same day. It was October the 25th. And I'm trying to go ambassador. This is 3 years later. I'm in 2009. And at that point, I'm like, why, Lord? Why does this stuff keep happening? You know, and same thing. Because it's not about me. And the enemy comes against you when there's a huge calling on your life. And the enemy tries to stop you. So don't let him stop you. If you stop, he won. Please remember that. Please, please, please remember that. This is powerful. This is kingdom stuff. It really is. We're changing people's lives, physically and financially. You are not in this room or in this business by accident. You've been chosen. You need to really get a hold of that. You've been chosen. You think you chose it works? No. God already knew you were supposed to get into it works. Just like he already knows who's supposed to get in with you in your business. So you should be anxious for nothing. You keep wrapping people, and the ones that are going to get in with you are going to get in with you. You may plant sow a lot of seeds into somebody, a prospective distributor, and they end up getting in with somebody else. I've had it happen to me a bunch. It's just life. It's because they weren't supposed to get in with you. Okay? So remember that. Wow. I didn't mean to go into all that, y'all, but this is huge stuff. All right, so what I want to do now is, how many of you have the party pad? Okay, are you using it?
Yes.
It's so easy, isn't it? In the back office, under documents, is the party pad presentation, the notes. All you got to do is cut them out and tape them or paste them right there in your party pad. So what I do, how I'm using the party pads is I invested in a couple of packages of them so that I have them. Now, if money is an issue, at least get one package. They're $25 for 25 of these. $1 a piece. That's crazy. $1 a piece. When you have your party, hand one to everybody at your party. But if money's an object, then you take them back up. Okay? You let them know that this is a party copy. Have them follow along with you. So that way, you don't have to show them this. You've got your notes. And you're gonna, if you're brand new, you're gonna just glance